Hey everybody, welcome to the back porch. Got a little problem here today. As you can see in my hydroponic totes that one of them I put together, I put some pepper plants in here. It's been about, let me think, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, following instructions I had, that I also passed along to you all in a previous video. There seems to be some question though about the water level, and apparently you have to be very conscious when you do them outside like mine are. You got to be conscious of of your water level, and especially if it rains. We've had some heavy rains the last few days, and so I went and I took some water out, obviously, because the instructions are to, you only want the water just coming in just at the bottom of the cup just a little bit. Well, now these peppers are a little bit further along, obviously, as I'll show you here. Like I say, they've been in it for a couple of weeks, and they have a nice root system built up. Well, I did some research. Well, anyway, I came out this morning, last night and this morning. I found these two here wilted and appeared to be in a dying state. And so when I was at work this afternoon, I did some reading and a little research, and while you got these tubs going like this, the water evaporates, and you're apparently not supposed to add more to it, because still these roots, they still have to be able to breathe oxygen too. If you got too much water in it, you're still going to drown them and kill them. And so before I started the video, I measured and took out about 6.5 inches of water, dropping the level down quite a bit. So we'll see if that helps. I did yesterday also. I bumped up, I put a little more fertilizer in it, and hopefully we'll see if that brings them out of it, because this is all new for me too. It's a learning experience, and so we'll see how that goes. But you can see they were all growing. These two here were actually the same size as these other three up until last night and this morning. And so I hope that the dropping the water level down will maybe shake them out of it. And if not, we'll replace them and continue on and continue to learn and experiment as we go. It's all just a big experiment. Well, I got you here. Here's an update on the experiment, the test, the grow bag, the wicking tub, and the compost container here. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference in the tomato plants. As I stated before, this one, water from the top, and it has had no commercial fertilizer, just some compost material underneath, and then some bagged dirt from Lowe's on top, about 2 inches. And you might say, well, gosh, your tomatoes aren't coming along very good. It's the middle of July. Well, I start everything here in my little back porch farm from seed. Everything here I started from seed myself. This is the very first wicking tub I ever put together. It looks nice, but it's not. There's some kind of malfunction here. I think the problem is, about decided the problem is the PVC pipe has twisted on me when I first put it together, and so water's not being allowed to flow, into the tub easily, or into the reservoir, the milk jugs underneath. As you can see, the top's starting to dry out a little bit. We had a heavy rain yesterday, so I've been watering this from the top. Anytime I try to add water through the PVC pipe, it almost immediately comes out the weep hole there. So when the growing season's over, I'm planning to take this one apart and see what's up. The plants are all fine. Great looking pepper plant. The tomato is short. I'm wondering if the roots have just run into the milk jugs underneath. I've got some tomatoes starting on there. Sweet potatoes growing out all over the place. It might not have been, sweet potato in the wicking tub might not have been the best choice, but As I said, it's all a big experiment, and I just like trying new things. Now this tomato here, you can see, is completely different here in the grow bag from the other two. This one is growing upwards. I've pruned this one a little heavier though too at the bottom, you can see. Mainly because, you know, tomatoes grow up, squash and zucchini grow out. Now I've noticed in the last couple of days the color of this plant has lightened quite a bit. I just harvested another squash off it yesterday, but you can see I don't know if it needs nitrogen. Might have to give it a shot of that, if it's maybe they're just too close together. But it's fun anyway, just to, you know, test different things and have a little experiment. This was the second wicking tub I constructed, and this one's working perfectly. As you can see, the soil still has a dark, damp appearance to it. I've got a sweet potato, a tomato, green pepper, and actually a little mint that I transplanted in there too. So it looks fine. I guess I might as well take in a little tour of the garden while we're doing this. This is the other. I have 3 wicking tubs. This is the third one. It's mostly peppers. It's also working fine. I water it through the pipe, and it's wicking up as it should be. So 2 out of 3 are working perfectly. Some of the other things, there's nothing like rain from heaven. I don't care how much you water it with the hose. God knows better, and God does better. So this squash plant here, I've harvested 4 or 5 squash from it. I'm about to get a ton of cherry tomatoes from this plant here. This cherry tomato plant, has more than tripled in size since I last toured you through my straw bale garden. So these are 2 cherry tomatoes, many flowers. You can see the tomatoes setting up on there. Lettuce and the salad greens. Now, I've learned recently that I shouldn't have these out in the direct sunlight either. But I've been harvesting them 2 or 3 times. They're still growing. Of course, I water them regularly. That's the one thing about a straw bale garden. You got to water it a lot, especially if you don't get regular rain. Cucumbers looking great. I've got a large harvest of cucumbers already. The wife and I have decided to we got a new hobby now. We decided we're gonna can and preserve. So we're gonna make some pickles probably tomorrow or over the weekend anyway. So I've been reading up on that because I have no idea. Never done it. It's interesting though. We love pickles and we got a lot of cucumbers, so that's what we're gonna do. Plenty of pole beans. Everything has done real well. It kind of had to catch up since it was such a late spring getting everything planted, but a ton of pole beans. These are pumpkins that I started from seed. This is another little experiment. I started 7 or 8 in the little red solo cups, and so now I put these 2 in the ground, and they're growing up over the fence onto the neighbor's garage. I need to go talk to her about that. Then back here I have one in a wicking bucket. This is a Atlantic giant pumpkin right here. In these wicking buckets there's a pepper and another tomato. And then over here I planted some more, transplanted some more of these Atlantic pumpkins into some grow bags. And they've done pretty well too. They've been probably 2 weeks. Grow bags, you do have to water a little more often too. When you get a wicking bucket that works, you get a tub to work right, there is an advantage. You do not have to water as much. But they look good. They seem to be doing well. Here's a new thing. I just call this pole beans in a bucket. The one thing that's failed me so far this year, I tried to plant pole beans out here on my little tripod, and I couldn't keep the birds off of them. planted them. I planted them and then replanted them, and the birds, for some reason, they plucked all the seed out of the ground. Nothing ever grew. So I thought, hey, well, we grow everything else in buckets and tubs. Why not try pole beans too? So these are the Brazilian variety, and I planted these about a week ago from seed, and they've popped up. Of course, we've had some rain on. I keep them watering. I got some bird netting here I had down on before they sprouted to kind of protect them. Some more zucchini. I got a lot of green ones yet. I mean, I haven't actually harvested them. I've had quite a few squash and no zucchini. But like I said, I got them planted kind of late. Here in the raised beds, it's turned into a jungle here. I've got zucchini, squash. I've got cucumbers growing everywhere here. I should be getting a nice crop. I got a lot of flowers in there. These are cucumbers here growing on this fence, trellis fence. Some more pole beans. Some tomatoes. The beans here are about done. They're drying up at the bottom, but they actually, no more than there are growing there or showing. I mean, they produce quite a few beans. The worms are working in these raised beds. Those worm towers are a deal. I mean, I'm firmly sold on them. So I got beets and carrots, bush beans. I've picked a ton of them already. Peas haven't been real good. This is the first year I've tried growing sugar snap peas. I think I need a taller fence. It's pretty hot for them too, I guess. I didn't pay attention to that. I should have grew them more in the shade. Another zucchini. And then I got compost. I like to keep compost piles going too. I've been working on another bed back here, putting down my layer of cardboard starting out and some yard waste and brush. That'll be a new bed for next year. So all in all, everything actually looks pretty good. I'm very pleased. I'll keep you apprised of what goes on with the peppers in the hydroponic tub. Oh, one other thing. I've got another tub, hydroponic tub, with greens and bok choy and mesclun greens growing in it, and I just discovered those really don't like direct sunlight either, so I moved them around here on the side of the house, and they have really took off here in the last couple of days. You can see they're little bit different sizes. The bok choy is doing very well. Salad greens not bad. The Swiss chard is kind of what's struggling, but they're coming on a little bit too. So I just want to take a few minutes and give you a quick tour and update, and pass on that information. If you're trying those hydroponic tubs, just be aware of the water level, because as those roots go down, the water needs to evaporate, or it will evaporate. Don't add any more to it. I guess once it gets down to the bottom, that's the end of it, and you clean it out, harvest whatever you got, clean it out, and start over, or so I'm told, or what I've read. So I hope you're all doing well. Turning into a pretty warm summer. Again, if you like this video, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button too. I like hearing comments. Let me know if you like it, yay or nay, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.